Yeah, that body's a blessing, girl. I ain't tryna pressure her. She messed with the temperature. Hard road this.
The large map shows the different routes of the Orient Express. This train began in Paris and ends in Istanbul as usual. Unfortunately, it will make most of its journey without me. The train covers a distance of more than... In many cities, they entertain the travelers with... I have no reason to bother the violinist. He can stay in the stuffy air if he prefers. I don't know what more to ask. He hasn't noticed anything suspicious. First, I better see about getting the door open, and then have another talk with the professor. Doesn't seem like I'll get anything out of him. There are thousands of things I would like to ask her, but nothing would justify neglecting my duties here on the train. The steward must have forgotten the toothpicks. Normally he would offer them discreetly after dinner. Who would have thought that one day butterscotch would remind me of my age and of all the things I had? Steward's pencil. The wooden toothpicks are packed into small paper wrappers. Nothing unusual. I need a bit of wire or something like that to pick the lock. The bolt is too short to get a good grip on it. I'm at a loss without a key or a proper tool. The bolt is too short to get... I'm at a loss. I need the right key or a proper tool to get the door open. The door is locked. I'm at a loss without a... Perhaps a thoughtful conductor noticed that Professor Lucien wasn't in it. I'd better let him read his newspaper if... Inspector Legrand was quite clear. I'm only to enter the freight car if there's news to report. I won't eat any just now. It would be rather embarrassing if I met Legrand and wasn't able to open my mouth because it's been stuck shut, or because I lost some teeth. For brave Constable Anton Jakob Zellner, Clarissa Westmacott. I think it's uncomfortable for her when I talk to her in front of Lady Westmacott. She seems to take it as an inappropriate distraction, although she's... There are but not... pills. I'm supposed to take my daughter in, but I wasn't about to change my mind. I bought it last week at a flea market, I suppose. I have no reason to bother them. There could be many reasons my money... First, I better see if it doesn't seem like a... I need the right key. First, I better... It doesn't seem like I'll get any...
Yes, what is it?
Whoever that is, James, ask them whether they found my purse and then closed the door. The noise on this train is driving me crazy.
You're missing a purse. Was it stolen?
At the very least, I cannot find it, sir.
It was stolen.
When did you... When was the last time the Baroness saw her purse?
What?
In Zurich, on the platform, sir.
I just asked where you last saw your purse.
In Zurich on the platform. James, tell him that I still had it when I got out to stretch my legs.
The Baroness says...
Maybe you lost it there.
What?
The Baroness never loses anything, sir.
I know.
Very well then. I shall be on the lookout for your purse. If I might ask you a few questions about your fellow passengers.
I thought he was looking for my... James, tell him to look for my purse.
The Baroness wishes that you search for her purse.
But couldn't we perhaps... All right. First, the purse. I will have a look around.
Thank you, sir.
The Baroness seems to have a special personality. I better not bother her until I find her. I bought it last week at a flea market. I like it because it tells a story. I suppose the previous owner bought himself a newer one. This one still works just fine, though. First, I bet it doesn't seem like a... Mrs. Miller?
Yes?
A passenger's purse has gone missing. I suppose you haven't seen it.
Sorry, no.
Nor have I.
Have you asked my little boy? Maddie is good at finding things.
I haven't asked him yet, but I will. Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
First, I bet it doesn't seem like I'll get anything. Perhaps... I may trouble you once more. A passenger is missing her purse. Perhaps you've seen it.
So, there are thieves on the train.
It's been missing for some time now. Probably since Zurich.
The Swiss don't let go of money easily, do they? Oh, pardon me. No, I haven't seen the purse.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
First, I'd better see about dozens. There are foul, but nothing. Hello, Dr. Gebhardt.
Ah, Mr. Zellner.
I meant to ask, the Baroness is missing her purse.
A baroness? This train is really full of the creme de la creme. The queen of crime is over there, and now a baroness as well.
Have you seen the purse?
Unfortunately, no. Do you know Lady Westmacott? You were talking to her.
Well, I'm an admirer of her work.
Like so many others. I once read in the newspaper that only Shakespeare and the Bible sell more copies than her crime novels.
I read that too.
She must be filthy rich. As a doctor, I'd have to work 1,000 years to earn that kind of money.
Auf Wiedersehen, Dr. Gebhardt.
Goodbye, Constable. It was a pleasant chat, really.
Inspector Legrand?
Anything to report?
Baroness von Trebitz told me that she's missing her purse.
Baroness von Trebitz. Interesting. Indeed, sir. But it has nothing to do with our case.
So I shouldn't concern myself with the matter.
Why not? It's your job as a policeman. But don't expect me to be particularly interested in a lost purse.
I'll get back to work now.
Good.
Inspector Legrand was quite clear. I'm only... I'd better let him... I think it's although she's just knitting. There are thousands, but nothing would justify... First doesn't... I need the... I don't know what more to ask. I have no reason to... The Baroness seems to have... I better not bother her. I won't need any just now. It would be rather... an autograph from Clarissa Westmacott. That's not something that happens every day. She's very reserved, unapproachable. An autograph. That's not... When I scratch the pencil's lead with the scissors, I get fine graphite powder. I won't get a Nobel Prize for the idea, but graphite powder will bring out fingerprints at a pinch. I need a bit of wire or something like that to pick the lock. I won't need any just now. It would be rather embarrassing if I met the grub. This is the steward's own little kingdom. But as long as he's not around, he won't be upset if I take a look. I need a bit of wire or something like that to pick the lock. I'd better let him... Inspector Legrand was quite... I'm only... I scraped a small amount of graphite off the pencil lead. The powder is very fine, practically dust. I scraped a small... I think it's uncomfortable for her when I talk to her in front of Lady Westmacott. She seems to take it as an inappropriate distraction from her work, although she's... The Baroness seems... I better not bother her. Perhaps a thoughtful conductor noticed that Professor Lucien wasn't in his compartment and locked it. There could be many reasons for the violinist's shaking hand. Strained nerves, an illness. My money's on alcohol. My dog, but I wasn't. Need the right key or a proper tool to get the door open. The Baroness seems... I better not bother her until I find her. I scraped a small amount of graphite off the pencil lead. The powder is very fine, practically dust. That's not... I think it's uncomfortable. uncomfortable for her although she's just knitting. A bit of wire or something like that to pick the lock. box with a padlock. I suppose it contains tools for the train's crew, maybe for coupling and uncoupling the cars. At any rate, it's positioned so that it's easier to reach from the ground than from up here. Locked.
Bang! Bang!
Huh?
Don't move!
Matt, have you gone mad?
I'll shoot! Hey, my pistol!
You'll get it back in Venice. I could have fallen under the wheels.
I thought you were a ghost.
Ghosts don't exist.
They do too. One just flew past the window.
Yes, sure. Now get moving.
Oh, man.
The box is secured with a padlock. I won't be able to open it without a key. The box is secured with a padlock. I won't be able to open it without a key.
Oh, Constable?
Yes, ma'am.
My son didn't make any trouble for you, I hope. It's just that he just walked past us, silent and seething. That's usually a sign that someone's laid down the law.
I'm afraid so. He played a trick on me, a rather dangerous one. The lad left me no choice but to take away his wooden pistol as a punishment.
I understand. And thank you. Maddie is a very lively child. Sometimes he needs a strong fatherly hand.
Where is Matt's father, if I may ask?
He's gone.
Ah, I understand.
Could you, leave Maddie's pistol here, perhaps? So you don't have to bother with it?
Of course. I told him he wouldn't get it back until Venice.
Very well. Thank you again, Constable.
Hello, Matt. Oh, come on. Are you going to be angry with me for the rest of the trip?
Until I get my pistol back.
I gave it to your mother.
Oh, man. Couldn't you have just raked me over the coals?
Would you have learned anything from that?
I didn't learn anything from this either.
Would you like a butterscotch?
You think you can bribe me?
I have no reason to. You made trouble and got punished for it. Take it as a peace offering.
Just 4?
If I'm faster than you, there'll only be 3.
Hey!
Friends again?
Mm-hmm.
All right then. And no dangerous nonsense anymore.
Okay.
Your mother is Lady Westmacott's companion, correct?
Yeah, but it's not like you think. At first I thought, boy, you must be really wicked if you need to pay for friends. But the lady's really okay. A bit odd and really old. But other than that, she's great. She likes me.
The lady has peculiar taste.
Hey!
You and your mother, do you both live on Lady Westmacott's estate?
I'm only there for the holidays. Most of the time I'm at boarding school.
I imagine that's not very pleasant.
No, it's fine. I have friends there. You always have to be so quiet in the lady's house. And I'm not allowed to bring any friends.
Such a big house with so many places to hide and no one to play hide and seek with.
You said it.
And how long has your mother worked for the lady?
2 years.
And your father? What does he do?
He stayed home. I used to go fishing with him. And hunting. He even let me shoot a real gun.
And then?
Then Mom fought with him. And he left. I was 7.
Oh. And how old are you now?
In 8 months, I'll be 9 years old.
And do you already know what you want to be when you grow up? A burglar?
No. We'll see. Maybe an actor.
Really? Well, I don't know. You need a lot of talent for that. I'm an actor in a theater group, you know?
You are?
Oh, yes. And I'm one of the best in our group, if I may say so. I get really deep into my roles, you know? I don't just talk like the character. I think like him. I Become him. It's the only way to... Matt, are you okay?
I think you just have to be good at copying things to be an actor.
That wasn't bad. Disturbing, but not bad. The Baroness in the second compartment over there is missing her purse. Do you have any idea where it could be?
Do I ever? That guy over there with the violin case?
What about him?
He picked up something in Zurich and put it in his violin case.
Really?
Yeah, and he made sure that nobody saw him.
You saw him?
Uh-huh.
Did you also see what it was?
Nah, not really. But now that I think of it, it must have been the Baroness's purse.
I should look in.
I think so.
Tell me, have you seen the steward anywhere?
Nope. He was walking...
Hopefully they didn't forget him in Zurich.
What's he supposed to do?
I'm looking for a key to open a compartment door.
Did you check his things behind the counter?
I'm sure the drawers will be locked.
Can't you break it open? Or pick the lock like the Raven?
Perhaps. But I'd need a piece of wire or something like that.
Ask my mom. She has a lot of hairpins. She doesn't like the wind messing up her hair.
So long. The violin case looks pretty old, but that doesn't say anything about the quality of the violin. The best violins are often in the oldest cases. I doubt the violinist will let me have a look in his case. Excuse me, sir. About the purse.
Ah, yes? Has it been found?
Someone saw you with your violin case on the platform in Zurich.
What's the meaning of this? I didn't steal anything.
Nobody said you did. I just wanted to ask you whether you might have noticed anything on the platform.
Well,
Why did you think I was accusing you?
well, I thought because you mentioned my violin case in the context of the purse.
Apropos, may I have a look at your violin? It must be a very extraordinary piece.
Oh, that's not possible. It's a genuine Guarneri.
Very valuable.
Very. And also very sensitive.
What could harm it here? Light? Air? May I ask you to open the violin case?
No, you may not. I'm not guilty of anything.
I'm afraid I have to insist.
Then I'm afraid you need a warrant. I will not stand back and let you rifle through my belongings.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes?
Please excuse my unusual request, but Matt said you have some hairpins. Could I borrow one?
One of my hairpins?
It's a long story. It would be a big help.
Well, if you really need one.
Go ahead, Mary. The constable won't do it any harm, will you, Mr. Zellner?
Of course not, madam.
Is this one okay?
It'll do nicely, madam.
Goodbye.
The box is secured with a padlock. Picking a modern padlock in an uncomfortable position on a rocking train? I'm too old for that. Inspector Legrand was quite time only. It doesn't work with this kind of lock. I need something to turn the pin. suddenly, it's me who's the thief on the train. Oops, that was easier than expected. Batteries, a toothbrush, a shaving brush, but not the key to the compartment door. Just this one. Too small for the door, but it might still be useful. I'd better let him read his newspaper if I don't have... That's it. There we go. This should help. I bet I could really get a grip on the bolt with these.
Well, come on then, hurry up.
Hello?
I barely left the window ajar.
Nothing to see.
Ah.
Are you okay?
Yes, fine.
Do you have any idea why the door was locked?
I don't know. Maybe the constant vibrations caused the lock to lock itself.
You can't possibly believe that.
Well, then what's your theory?
The conductor could have locked it from the outside. On the other hand, it could have been someone here in the compartment who locked the door from the inside.
Who? And where have they gone?
They could have climbed out there.
Who would be that insane?
You tell me, Professor. So, what are you hiding in your bag? What do you have that would be worth stealing?
No, nothing.
No valuables?
Certainly not. Not on my salary.
It was enough for a first-class compartment on a luxury train.
That's my business.
You're playing a dangerous game, Professor Lucien. I'd like to look around a bit.
Of course.
I really wonder what the professor is hiding from me. But I can't just rifle through the luggage of innocent citizens. This is the 60s. No, nothing interesting. The Bible, Grimm's fairy tales, Moby Dick, and gin, whiskey, and rum. All classics. Wow, you have a very nice fountain pen. Pricey.
If you'd managed to decode hieroglyphics that boggled the best minds of the last 3,000 years, you'd have received a gift like that as well.
What's this?
What do you have there?
It's a button. From a suit or a uniform, I guess.
The burglar might have lost it.
Maybe. Or maybe not. If I notice anyone with a missing button on his jacket, I'll ask him about it. But I wouldn't get my hopes up. If there was a burglar, he climbed out the window and jumped off the train. Assuming there really was someone in the compartment, and he climbed out the window, where's he gone?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to make what I suspect are fingerprints visible.
And? Found anything?
Unfortunately, no. There are only a couple of fingerprints on the window. It was probably cleaned before departure, but the prints I can see look like glove marks.
Well, wouldn't you expect that? What professional burglar wouldn't wear gloves?
Which makes me wonder what a professional burglar would hope to find in your compartment.
I don't have anything to say to that.
I thought as much. It was worth a try. I can only make out faint traces. Whoever was in this compartment was wearing gloves. Goodbye, Professor.
Goodbye.
Pardon me, sir.
We could have used you a few minutes ago. Mrs. Miller?
Yes?
Thank you for your hairpin, Mrs. Miller. It really got me out of a jam.
Oh, really? Well, that's good to hear. And thank you for bringing it back to me. Not everybody would have.
I'm a Swiss policeman, madam. I couldn't do otherwise even if I tried. Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
There are thousands of things I would like to ask her, but nothing would justify neglecting my duties here on the train. Hello, Dr. Gebhardt.
Ah, Mr. Zellner.
I've been wondering why you're wearing gloves. Are your hands really so sensitive? Or are you cold?
Nah, well, it's an old habit. As a doctor, one is so conscious of all the pathogens, bacteria, and viruses that surround us. Though, of course, perhaps I do tend to be a bit too cautious.
I know exactly what you mean. As a policeman, I sense subterfuge and lies everywhere. Auf Wiedersehen, Dr. Gebhardt.
Goodbye, Constable. It was a pleasant chat, really.
Inspector Legrand?
Anything to report?
I got Professor Lucien into his compartment using a pair of pliers.
Did you notice anything inside the compartment?
The window was open. Someone could have climbed out.
And the professor?
Acted suspiciously. He rummaged around in his leather bag.
And?
He seemed to have found what he was searching for.
Good. Good work.
Now, perhaps you could give me some information.
All right. We should...
What? The light's gone out.
Flashlights! Ah! Get off me!
There, sir. An envelope.
My dear Nico, you should take a closer look at the box. R.
What the dickens? It's a...
Away with it! Take cover!
Is everyone all right? Are you hurt? Quick thinking. Well done, Zellner.
I think the tunnel collapsed.
Then he's trapped. Hurry, we have to lock the second exit.
Sir, there's a fire up ahead. The engine's burning.
It's a distraction. Hurry, block the exit.
But sir...
The fire will consume all the oxygen.
He's right, Inspector. A fire in a narrow tunnel is extremely dangerous.
Merde. Go to the front of the train, find the engineer, and tell him to move the train out of the tunnel.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready? You have to uncouple the freight car. You understand?
I understand.
I'll see to the passengers. They should all wait in the tunnel. We'll check each one in turn as they go out.
Let's get to it. The inspector's trap failed. The thief must have got wind of it. Worse than that, he turned the tables. To win a game of cat and mouse, you have to know who is the cat and who is the mouse. Sure, I could uncouple the car if I only had enough light to see what I'm doing.
Pardon me. I did not mean to scare you.
What are you doing here, Doctor?
Legrand asked me to check whether there are any passengers left on the train.
Really? No one is here, except for me and you.
Excellent. Then I will continue searching at the front.
Did anyone act suspiciously before the explosion? Did anyone leave their seat, for example?
I was the only one on the train who wasn't seated when the freight car exploded. Thank God. Otherwise, I would have been caught by the blast as well.
You certainly were lucky.
Perhaps I was. What happened over there? The inspector said something about gas canisters that exploded.
He didn't want to scare you. The truth is, it was a bomb meant to kill him and the Bobby.
My God. An attack?
The investigations are ongoing, but...
Oh.
How are the passengers?
They are in a state of shock, of course. The blackout and the sudden stop were frightening enough, but then the explosion, the dust, everyone rushed for the exits. I was helping the American woman bring Lady Westmacott to safety. They are waiting outside in the tunnel. One entrance is blocked by a fire, and the other one seems to have collapsed.
Continue to search the train. I'll decouple the buried freight car.
All right.
Doctor? Can you give me a few matches?
Oh, certainly.
Thanks. I'll meet you outside.
Do hurry.
My God, what a fire. I hope Constable Oliver can at least reach the engine. Whiskey, scotch, rum, liqueurs. Enough to entertain everyone on the train all the way from Paris to Istanbul. High-proof rum. Could be useful. Carling Black Label, a British beer. No good. Insufficient alcohol content. For practical purposes, I mean, not for drinking. Champagne, the finest. Maybe we'll open a bottle if we get out of the tunnel alive. Until then, though, it's no use to me. Rum from Austria. Believe it or not, it's 80% alcohol by volume. There's no way anyone would drink it straight. I expect the rum will burn like ethanol, but I better not test that theory in the bottle. I should concentrate on uncoupling the freight car. I'm positive that Legrand has everything else under control. The other passengers escape. If I don't... There's a pretty intense draft here. The fire is sucking up the oxygen. There's a noticeable draft here. Maybe it's because of the fire, or perhaps there's still a hole through which the air is coming. The latter will be quite welcome. It will buy us some more time. Some matches, and half of the book to get the flame going. I can feel cold metal and a screw thread. And a lot of grease, but I can't do more without... I should concentrate on... there's a pretty... It's still quite warm and too warped to open. A lot was damaged by the sudden stop, but the bowl was thick enough to survive the fall. I filled the bowl about a third of the way with rum. Phew, strong stuff. Just as I expected, the alcohol burns with an almost invisible flame. The flame is hot, but it's no use as a light source. The flame is hot, but it's no use as a light source. Rum from Austria, believe it or not. Pills for my heart. I'm supposed to take one if I have pain. I haven't needed them yet. The flame is certainly bigger and hotter than a match, but even so, the curtain would probably just smolder. The flame is hot, but it's no use. The chair either fell over thanks to the sudden stop, or an escaping passenger knocked it over. Wanting to get off the train as quickly as possible after a sudden stop and a massive tremor, that's understandable. It's not bothering me. The chair either fell over thanks to the sudden stop, wanting to... I noticed the extinguisher earlier. Doesn't I suppose... It'd be useless against the fire out there, and it's too cumbersome to carry around. At best, I can use it here. All right, let's go. The flame is certainly bigger and hotter than a match, but even so, the curtain would probably... It's taking too long. Time is running out. I doubt that will work. The curtain fabric doesn't burn easily. The flame is certainly bigger and hotter than a match, but even so, the curtain would probably just smolder. It's smoking and the curtain's turning black, but it's not actually catching fire. I don't know what kind of material this is made of. Something that's not easy to set alight at any rate. I'll have to try something else. I doubt that will work. The curtain fabric doesn't burn easily. That should do it. Can't really say the fabric was eager to soak up the rum. I, on the other hand, soaked up enough in my fingers to smell like a drunk. The alcohol on the curtain burns just as darkly as in the bowl. It's no help. Okay, I'll smear some grease on the curtain. I'm the god of fire. That's better now. A lever on a pressure sleeve running along a thread. Aha! I can uncouple it with this lever. Okay. Good. The coupling isn't under tension anymore. I should be able to uncouple it now. There we go. Time to get out of here.
Listen, everybody! Listen! Robert, what's the situation?
Yeah, I couldn't find the engineer, so I got in the driver's cab myself and released the brake.
All right. Good job. You too. Listen, please!
Matty! Where's Matt? Where's my son?
Relax, madame. I'm sure...
Help! Matty! No!
Matt, where are you? Oh. Matt, are you there? Nothing. Jumping off is not an option. We're going much too fast. Hey, there you are. What were you thinking? Bah, come out of there.
Is he gone?
Is who gone?
The man!
What are you doing on the train anyway? Why didn't you wait in the tunnel with the other passengers?
I wanted to get my pistol.
Your pistol?
There's so many cops and thieves and explosions and everything. Then I need a pistol too.
Makes sense. What about this man?
There was a man. He was coughing.
One of the passengers?
I think he came down from the roof.
All right. First, I'll stop the train, and then we'll have a chat, okay? You want to come out? Good idea. You stay put. The engine and the coal tender are burning stronger and hotter. The airflow is feeding the flames. I have to decouple the wagons immediately. Sooner or later, the engine will be blown apart. Hold tight, Matt. Damn, that makes things extremely complicated. The emergency brake either was damaged in the explosion or was sabotaged. I can't get in. I presume the Baroness's luggage toppled over and is blocking the door. Situation isn't that desperate. What have you got yourself into? Couldn't you have just let it be? But no, of course not. And now you're here, on an out-of-control train in the Alps, responsible for the life of a child who'll be doomed without you. What are you waiting for, eh? Time to save the day. Professor Lucien's suitcase. Unlike the leather bag, he left it behind when he fled the train with the other passenger. I don't think there's anything interesting in it. The tanks don't seem to be damaged. The water is still running. Large, soft towel, very comfortable. I'll wrap it around my neck to keep my hands free. It's soaking up the cold water. I suppose this handbag belongs to Miss Miller, Matt's mother. Lady Westmacott's bag is probably smaller and more expensive. Aha! Matt saw something. It could prove to be very useful. Look.
Thanks.
Cover me, okay?
Nope.
X is for emergencies. If this isn't an emergency, I don't know what is. They see out of the window because of the smoke. I don't know how much coal is burning on the tender up there, but it must be tons. I can't do anything about the fire. If the emergency brake doesn't work, I'll have to try something else. Here goes. Ouch! Hot! Okay, we'll do it the hard way. Coupling. It looks just like the one on the freight car. That means that first I have to turn that thing there. That keeps it under tension. It's not working. Even if I could reach the lever with my hands, I wouldn't have the strength to move it. Not a chance. Hell could hardly be worse. Not a chance. Even if I could reach the lever with my hands, I wouldn't have the strength to move it. That should do the trick. The coupling won't release because it's under too much tension. The engine is pulling the cars and its full force is acting on the coupling. It's just a hook, but it won't budge like that. That's not just smoke. I can actually taste lumps of ash. It's time for my deputy sheriff's story. I uncoupled the locomotive at full speed. Not bad, eh?
Do you think we'll get in trouble?
Because of the locomotive? I don't think so. It was pretty old already. Come out so we can have a chat. I checked the entire train. There's no one on it except for us. What an adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me, what did you see on the train?
Well, it was like this. I wanted to get my pistol. Achoo!
And then?
When the guy was gone, I got up and banged on the window. I wanted to get out of there. But then I thought, what if the guy can hear me from the next car? So I got scared, and I hid again.
You did well. Are you sure it was a man?
Yeah, very sure. What else could he be?
A woman?
No. Girls can't be thieves. Girls are always honest.
If only you knew. Did you recognize the man? Have you met him before?
I don't think so.
Would you recognize him if you saw him again?
No. It was very dark and I was hiding.
Was he a tall man or a short man?
Just a man. I think he was a bad man.
Why do you think that?
He was sneaking around, even though everybody else was outside in the tunnel.
Maybe he just wanted to get his wooden pistol.
Oh, man.
The envelope that the man lost, where is it?
I thought it might be important.
I think we should have a look. Some cash, an Italian passport, blank. Very interesting. And here, a ticket for
the cruise!
What?
The tickets we have for the big ship from Venice to Cairo look exactly the same.
Interesting. May I keep it?
What do you want to do with it?
Take a vacation.
It's evidence.
And my chance to go with you.
The ticket and everything else in the envelope are part of my investigation. And you have no part to play in Cairo.
If I hadn't given you the envelope, you'd have no proof that the Raven's heir would be on the ship.
Ugh, the ship is his next chance to steal the eye. And he won't give up until he has it.
And that's precisely why you should let me come along.
No.
I deserve to...
What you did was...
And
you met...
It wasn't luck.
You can...
I have not... What else did you find out in the tunnel?
Not much. After we came out of the tunnel, Robert and I questioned the passengers.
Which didn't turn up anything new.
No. The engineer and the fireman were missing. They were found a few kilometers back on the track. Both claimed to have been overwhelmed by a shadow and thrown off the train.
But you don't believe that.
I'm checking their stories. One of them may have been paid to eliminate the other one.
How could the Raven's heir have found out about the trap? How was he able to put the dynamite in the box and place the letter?
The dynamite was probably already in the box when I put it in the safe. I didn't check it.
You had no reason to do so.
It wasn't my only mistake. I knew someone was on the roof of the freight car, but I let myself be distracted by that damned letter.
How did you know?
Too late. I should have reacted instantly.
I'm coming with you. Full stop.
The thief was able to place 10 sticks of dynamite in a cash box right under my nose. For all we know, you could already be sitting on the next bomb. You cannot come.
But, Inspector...
We're here.
Inspector Legrand, an urgent telegram from Paris.
Bad news?
It's about the unfortunate events on the train. I'm to return to Paris and explain myself.
But
they want to inform the Egyptian authorities that...
Might?
Egyptian authorities?
I know. I never received it. Keep a close watch on the loading of the eye, Robert.
Aye, sir. It was a pleasure meeting you.
What is the constable's problem with me?
I think he's jealous. Scotland Yard assigned him to assist me, just as you were sent by the Swiss authorities.
With the distinction that he may go to Egypt.
Robert is to accompany me at all times. Your mission was restricted to Switzerland.
At this moment, I want to be sent back to Switzerland just as much as you want to be sent back to Paris.
I know, but I'm walking on thin ice, and I can't carry you too.
And the second eye is in that safe?
Yes, an emerald. It's been kept in a bank in Zurich since the start of the war. I personally took it out of the bank vault, and Professor Lucien certified that it was the real thing.
And while a fake jewel was sent by train,
the real one was brought here in an armored car.
How is it protected?
You can only open the safe if you have 3 special keys. Professor Lucien has one, and Baroness von Trebitz, who's paying for all this, has the second. The third was sent by air courier to Dr. Abbas Mokhtar, the director of the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. That's correct.
Commendable. I hope you're aware of the...
Indeed.
Why? Someone...
What
do you mean?
It's... Have you ever...
But... What do you mean by that?
Let us assume, just for a moment, who would have cared enough? The chief of police, the and it was the best thing that could have happened to the... He had no...
And now, does that...
The fat
policeman...
My reputation... I have...
Let's review. One of the 2 most valuable jewels in the world was stolen. Obviously, the second one will be next. And you suspect a legendary burglar who's been dead for 5 years.
Go on.
The second jewel is about to be put on board over there, in a safe that requires 3 keys. Our thief may already have the first key, the archaeologist's key, from the train. We don't know anything about the status of the second key, which was meant to be air freighted to Cairo.
We have to assume that he already has it.
Therefore, there's just 1 key left. The Baroness's.
Correct.
So, you'll need my eyes on board.
Look, you can keep your eyes open for me here on the wharf. I'd be most grateful. But when this ship sets sail, you will not, I repeat, not be on board.
But, Inspector...
We're dealing with a dangerous man, and I will pursue him regardless of the consequences. I won't let you get mixed up in this.
It's still my decision.
No, it's not. It's mine, and I've already made it. Good day, Constable.
Constable Oliver seems to be a little... the way he... Constable Oliver seems to be a little simplistic. But I don't think he's a bad policeman. The way he reacted in the tunnel and got the train moving. Hats off. Hello, Constable Olivier.
It's Oliver.
I just wanted to say that you did a good job in the tunnel.
Thanks.
How did you know how to get the train moving?
I come from a family of miners, and my uncle is an engine driver down the mine.
I see. And you looked over his shoulder?
Yeah, best way to learn.
Did Legrand tell you about his theory? That it could be the real Raven?
Of course he did. We're partners.
But the modus operandi doesn't fit at all. The Raven wasn't a bomber.
We have the letter. And the feather. That's his symbol.
Anyone can put a feather in an envelope.
You would know.
What's that supposed to mean?
It was you.
What was me?
You put the envelope on the safe.
To blow myself up?
You threw the bomb away, and now you're the famous hero, right? And the Raven must have paid you pretty well.
That is ridiculous.
Is it? Only you and I and Legrand were in the freight car. One of us must have put the envelope on the safe. Legrand didn't. And I didn't. Think about it.
In my younger years, I might have considered abseiling from the crane down to the ship, but those days are long past. The sea is quiet today. Ideal conditions for a cruise. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to see the sights in Venice. Paperwork served up by my Italian colleagues took up most of the day. Fine car, but nothing compared to the young lady who owns it. Amazing how much luggage there is for so few passengers, and I'd guess that 3/4 of it belongs to the women. I'll take an inconspicuous look up close.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting anyone to be crawling around on the ground in front of my door.
Don't worry about it, miss. No harm done.
Oh, that's good to hear, Mr.
Zellner. Anton Jakob Zellner. May I ask your name?
Patricia Mayers.
Are you American?
I am. Could you help me, please?
Certainly. Are you on your way to Egypt?
Yes.
Are you on holiday?
My father works for a railroad company there.
And is rebuilding the country after the war. Wonderful.
Yes. Wonderful. One more.
You're lucky to have a father who takes you to so many interesting places.
Oh, yes. Lucky me.
Aren't you interested in Egypt? The pyramids, the history.
I would have been more interested in a father who doesn't travel 300 days a year.
I'm sure your father regrets that he can't always be with you.
No doubt. And I'm sure he always wanted the best for me. But that doesn't stop him from thinking only about himself far too often. Bring my luggage on board, please.
Excuse me?
It was a pleasure meeting you, Constable Zellner.
Impertinent. Is the doctor afraid to board the ship? Hello, Dr. Gebhardt.
Ah, the hero of the hour.
The hero of the hour, but out of work soon.
Oh, you won't be a policeman anymore?
Yes, but on my old beat, which is almost as good as being out of work.
I understand.
Is your new job bothering you?
On the contrary, I wasn't sure whether I made the right decision until now. I'm from the Black Forest, you know. There are only mountains there. No ships. But now... the salty breeze, the atmosphere... I think I want to stay at sea forever.
The sea is one thing, the passengers are another.
It will be okay.
What do you know about the Baroness?
Nothing really.
Did you talk to her in the tunnel?
No. Her butler was looking after her, and I was busy with Miss Miller. As you can imagine, it was a shock for her to see her son rolling away on a burning train.
That's understandable.
So, we were all glad when we heard about your brave deed.
Have you already met the captain?
Mario Di Conti. Heard of him?
Should I have?
He is something of a star in Italy. A war hero. In the First World War, when he was a young man, he sank more enemy ships than anyone else. In the Second World War, well, he had some personal problems.
You mean like the ones you buy in bottles and pillboxes?
Yeah, you could say that. Anyway, sending him into combat was out of the question. They gave him a supply ship instead. And he became a hero again. His ship, part of a convoy from Palermo to North Africa, was the only one that made it, with an extra 100 seamen who he rescued from the other ships.
Impressive.
To say his health is rather shaky these days would be an understatement. I think most of my time on board will be spent dealing with his numerous ailments.
Well, there's nothing left for me to do but to wish you a good trip.
Oh, you are not coming with us?
Unfortunately, no. I'm to go back to Zurich.
What a pity.
Take care, Dr. Gebhardt.
Oh, I just remembered. We found these in the tunnel. Are they yours?
I'm afraid so.
Strophantine. Do you have heart problems? Maybe it's for the best that you're not coming along. Too much excitement could be bad for your health.
You mean if I don't do anything, I'll probably have a few more years to live?
That's right. Keep your chin up.
James! Where on earth are you?
Hello, Baroness.
Ah, Inspector.
Constable.
Poppycock. You won't be a constable much longer. When they find out how you rescued that little boy, they'll have to promote you to Inspector.
Very kind of you to say so, Baroness. I hope you survived the adventure in the tunnel unharmed.
Scandalous! You book a first-class cabin, and then you're walking on the rails. They wanted to bundle me off in a bus, without my luggage.
The circumstances, madam.
I insisted on a limousine, and didn't leave until all my luggage was recovered.
Did you know that the real Eye of the Sphinx wasn't even on the train?
I had no idea. Inspector Legrand seems to prefer to keep me in the dark, although I'm the one paying for all of this.
The inspector is ensuring the safety of the Eye.
Well, obviously. All the same, it was you who did the real work on the train.
I hope that the remainder of your trip to Cairo will be less stressful.
You aren't coming with us?
I'm afraid Inspector Legrand doesn't want my company.
Now, where's my damned butler? James, there you are. Is the inspector to carry my luggage onto the ship all by himself?
Well, actually... Baroness?
Baroness, can you hear me? She fainted.
No. No.
Baroness?
Again, harder.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Help me up.
Perhaps we should...
Now.
I'll get Dr. Gebhardt.
No, Doctor. Just a little moment of weakness. Your arm, James. Take me to the ship.
But of course, madam.
That was no moment of weakness. She saw something that shocked her, or someone. Very interesting, especially since she doesn't want to admit it. That's a fine automobile, but not even a stately sedan like this can handle all the Baroness's luggage. She was lucky that the second and third freight cars weren't buried in the tunnel. Most of her things made it unscathed. What's this? Aha! Who or what did she see? Neither of them seems to have noticed what happened down here. You'll have a tough time with her. How does one get aboard without a ticket? Not brilliant, but it's a possibility. I'll give the opera glasses to the Baroness or her butler, James, as soon as I have a chance.
Oh, who do we have here? Signore...
This is Constable Anton Zellner.
Signore Zellner, I heard about your feats in the mountains. Welcome aboard the MS Lydia.
Thank you, Captain.
I didn't know you'd be taking part in the journey, but I'm glad to have you with us. I'll have a nice cabin prepared for you immediately.
The constable will not be joining us. He has other duties.
Oh, that's too bad. I would have loved to hear about his adventures from the man himself.
I'd like to accept your offer, but unfortunately, higher powers prevent it.
I am sorry to hear that. We are by no means full, and have plenty of room for one more passenger.
The constable just wants to have a quick look around and then leave before we set sail. When will that be?
Oh, in about 15 minutes.
There you have it, Constable.
May I ask how to get to the cargo hold?
Oh, Signore, there are much nicer places on board.
But I'm interested in the cargo hold.
Why is that?
One of the trunks seems suspicious to me. Someone could be hidden in it.
You... You want to imply that the most brilliant and probably richest thief in all of Europe is stowing away in a trunk? That's not his style.
That's what makes it more likely that it's not him, but a copycat who's behind all this. And a copycat's style might include doing whatever it takes, like hiding in a trunk if they've lost the ticket.
Oh, come now.
Actually, it would be possible for a registered passenger to board the ship without a ticket.
What do you mean?
You can't buy a ticket for the Lydia at the counter. You book the trip in advance. We know the names of all the passengers. As long as a passenger is on the guest list, we let them board the ship. Doesn't matter if they have a ticket or not.
And did any of the passengers board without a ticket?
I couldn't say. We ask for a name and check it on the list. The tickets are no more than souvenirs for the passengers.
So much for your trunk theory.
Regardless of what you say, I would still like to examine the cargo hold.
All right, then, if you like. But we'll meet here again in 10 minutes. Captain de Conti, before we depart, I'd like to send 2 telegrams.
Certainly, Inspector. The cargo hold is over there. You can enter through a door on the forecastle. The horn will sound twice, 5 minutes before we set off. That's the signal for all the dock workers to leave the ship.
Understood, Captain.
Follow me to the bridge. You can send your telegrams from there.
My time is running out. If I don't find anything in the cargo hold, my cruise will be over before it even begins. Oh, no. The left 3 lockers are locked. That's the young woman's cabriolet. Apparently they absolutely had to take it to Egypt, at Daddy's expense, of course. It's too dark in here. I can't see my hand in front of my face, let alone look for clues. I'll give the opera glasses to the Baronet. The door to this locker is ajar.